Hi, everybody. Candice here from Karuna Wellness. I try to upload a video every week. Sometimes I get a couple videos in, sometimes I get none, and I make up for it later. So I have been not planning, I've been helping someone plan an event, and I just kind of provide a support role. And when we do this, her and I get into this flow state when we're talking. And as we're speaking, I'm getting different information and messages. And I wrote a few things down during our meeting because I'd love to share them with you because we both thought that they were pretty helpful and pretty useful. So as I've been diving more into this work, I had something happen to me last week in meditation where the floodgates have opened and I'm really receiving a lot of information. And what happens is when I'm getting into a conversation with somebody where we're really jiving, like we're really resonating, it's feeling harmonious, it amplifies that ability. And I receive even more information. And it's really wonderful. And I thought I would also share it with you. Um, so something we were talking about is, and this has come up with a few conversations lately, they've been telling me, is just bringing awareness and recognition to the fact that your worldview or your perception of how things really are, like what reality actually is and how strongly you feel about that, sit with how you see and how you feel everything, especially now in Canada, we just had the election. So things are a little, still feeling a little charged after that, how you feel about that. And then think about yourself in the past, so like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you know, so on and so forth. You had a totally different outlook and perception on what life was like, right? And the perception and the outlook and the information, knowledge, wisdom that you have now is going to change. It will change. I promise you that. So what that means is we need to stop identifying with our perception of the world as a defining feature of who we are. What that is, it's not us, it's not who you are. It's just the lens, or like I have literally prescription glasses, the lens with which we choose to see the world at that time. It does not identify us. What that's doing is it's allowing us to filter information in a way that resonates with our beingness, our ability to understand in these meat suits that we're in here as a human. So your prescription, the lens that you choose to look at this 3D construct around us that's collapsed in to make all the stuff happen here, it's going to change. It always will. I know I've said the same thing over and over many times, but you need to understand the depth of that because we really get attached to how we feel about certain situations and events and things and people. It's going to change. Just like your emotions, when you have emotions, you allow yourself, you should, no, I shouldn't say you should. What would happen? How would that feel if you allowed yourself to feel your emotions to come up and bubble up and off, right? Good, bad, they're not really either or. They're always a guiding beacon for you. Whether it be joy, whether it be anger, allowing it to fizzle up and out. And your emotions are always changing. You're never like flatlined, right? Same with how you see the world, the things going on around you. Those are things that are fleeting and just moving by, okay? Moving through your life, your existence, or just passing by way, way out ahead of you. But you can kind of observe and see. As soon as you invest a part of your beingness, your identity into that, then you're getting tangled up and you're getting caught. And what happens is you're getting caught up in like this ball of yarn, we'll call it. And time, reality, space is continuing on. And what's happening is it's creating a dissonance, okay? A dissonance. And that's when we get that stress feeling of like, oh my God, oh, like, things aren't right. And this person's not agreeing with me. And this person's so fucked. Like, how could they see the world this way? And, they need to get their head on straight. All the things we tell ourselves that, I'm the right one and everyone else is wrong. If only everyone thought like me. That dissonance, that's what creates that. So just knowing that how you view things is going to change gives you the ability to understand when someone else sees the same thing you see in a totally different way. That's where they're at. And they're not right or wrong, and neither are you. And for a lot of people, that's hard pill to swallow. And again, if I'm saying things that don't resonate with you, that's fine. Move along. And if there's parts that are wonderful, I hope it integrates amazingly for you. The other way you can see this is we're all like little bubbles, okay? Walking around. They're a little reality here in 3D land. And what happens is once in a while we meet up with other bubbles or other people, situations, things, whatever, the energy, and we create like a Venn diagram. They overlap a little bit, right? There's a common ground. There's a resonance, a harmony there. Sometimes we come to bubbles and they just bounce. Like there's just a lot of friction resistance, okay? So this universe is made of frequencies and harmonies and resonances. So that's another way of looking at it. But just knowing that that's always going to change. It's never going to be constant. And it's not your job to change how other people see things or feel about things. You can only control how you see and feel about things. And I always talk to people about building a bridge. If I'm trying to talk to you, okay, and some of you watching this video are like, yeah, I'm so on board, like preach, sister. And others of you that have not decided to scroll past are kind of on the fence going, what is she talking about? I'm not really sure. I try my best. I always put the intent out there. It's not perfect to meet people where they're at. So if you're like not quite on board with what I'm saying, it's not my job to convince you of anything. My job is to provide the information and give you the breadcrumbs. So not to change how you think, but so you can like eat those little breadcrumbs and you can see why Candice has this perspective, where it's coming from and how, you know what I mean? So you can access that mentality if you want to, just to try it on. It's like a new outfit, you try it on, see if it fits. If you don't like it, put it back on the rack kind of thing. And that allows you growth and expansion. You can say, not for me, or I kind of like this, but I'd like to tweak the outfit a little bit. So that was something that's been coming through a lot for me. And in hand with that is the information and knowledge that we receive, and within our ability of the lens or prescription with which we view our world or our perception of who we are here, we get information given to us all the time. And your higher self, your subconscious mind, the right side of your brain, whatever you most identify with, provides you with information that's within your highest alignment. It's in your highest alignment. So they're going to give you information, knowledge, whatever, with compassion and unconditional love. And so when you come to a realization, and this always happens to every single one of us because we're human, and you go, oh my gosh, this thing I've been doing, or this has been right in front of me my whole life, and I'm finally seeing it. You can go many ways, but we'll make it one of two ways. You may go, oh my gosh, I should have got here sooner. I'm such a terrible person. Why didn't I see this before? I could have had a much better existence if I had just known this earlier, or this is so-and-so's fault. They're the ones that have held me back, and that's why I didn't know this before, yada, yada, chatter, chatter, right? And that's fine. That's fine if that's how you see things. Or you can see it as, wow, I did not have the capacity or the ability to see this, and I'm glad I am able to see it now. If I had seen this before, I wouldn't have had the bandwidth or capacity to understand and change or integrate this. But now, because of where I'm at, I'm a fucking badass and I can handle this now. And I actually have the power to transmute this and handle it now. That's why this is coming to me here and now. If I was able to before, I would have seen it before, right? So your prescription has changed so that you can see the issue, the problem, or the amazing thing that's been right in front of you the whole time. So hopefully, I'm going to go off here in the middle of my video. Hopefully that provides you with some perspective of just how information comes to you and how you're seeing it and how you are part of that process, but you are not that process. You are not that thing. You are not that feeling. You are not that thought. You're not even the lens that you look through. Okay. You're like a bunch of steps back viewing through that. And when you're able to do that, game changer. And what happens is if you're able to do it when you're in a calm scenario, like right now, I'm sitting in my kitchen and things are nice and calm. I'm able to think straight and clearly. It's exercising that muscle so that when you or I are in situations where we've got people that are triggering us, even your family, like, I've got kids running around. I love them to death, but sometimes I get like, right? I'm able to, again, look through that lens in that moment when I would normally be like, oh my God, like I'm gonna rip my hair out, and go, okay, what's happening here? And I'm able to see through their eyes, their prescription, And I don't have to. That's a choice I make. And you don't have to either. You can say, fuck that. No, fuck them. I don't need to see what they're seeing. I'm out. And that's fine. I love being able to see where they're coming from because for me, it's fun. I don't know, someone with me that likes that. And then I'm able to interact with that person, like my kids, for example, and meet them where they're at. And again, give them the breadcrumbs of, hey, this is where I'm coming from. And then I'm modeling for them how to do that, right? And you can do it for other adults too, not just kids. I mean, we're all God's children. And then another thing I wanted to touch on today, it's going to be a bit of a longer video here, is we get triggered, right? We get worked up about things and, again, why did I not think the way I think? And, everyone should think like me, essentially is what the ego is saying, to make a long story short. And we need change, and we need change now. And especially after the election, I've spoken to numerous people, and everyone is very charged with, how they think the world should be. Be mindful that you are not going to perpetuate what it is you are trying to mitigate. If you are trying to achieve unity, if you are trying to foster peace and calm, if you are angry, saying fuck them, being divisive, all these, then you're perpetuating what you don't want. So if you're super angry, feel your feels by all means. It's not to negate that. But if you're still there a few minutes later or a day later, and you're still ruminating and spiraling down, you are perpetuating the thing you were trying to mitigate. Do not perpetuate what you wish to mitigate. So be mindful of the thoughts, and I almost said your thoughts and feelings, of the thoughts and the emotions that you are experiencing through the lens with which you view the world, and ask yourself, am I propagating what I wish to perpetuate, or am I perpetuating what I wish to mitigate? Okay, that's all I have for today. What do I have coming up? So the woman I was talking with that inspired this video, she is organizing an event. It is a week from tomorrow, so Friday, May 9th, 2025. It is at Rise Above Guest House. We are having Drupon come from Belleville. He is an amazing soul, and we're actually going to have 2 sessions. So he's going to drop some wisdom and some teachings. We'll have some meditation. It starts at 9:30 in the morning. I believe the first session starts at 10 a.m., goes till 12:30. And then there's a potluck lunch. And then from 2 to 4, he'll have a second session where we'll take a bit of a deeper dive. The theme for this event is showing appreciation for all mother sentient beings, because Mother's Day is coming up. And I was speaking with her, and hopefully I'm saying this correctly. She was telling me that, at some point in time, someone has been our mother. Okay, and so it's treating all beings as such, as all mother sentient beings, and resting in our natural luminosity, and we have all been mothers to somebody as well. And just taking a deeper dive beneath the surface of that message and getting that extra, honestly, like that oomph, just to help us with our growth, expansion, understanding of all, because we're all working towards, going back to source and finding unity. So this is by donation. And you can send me a message and I can connect you with Catherine. So you can email, I gotta remember my email, candice.karuna.wellness.ca. And I believe her email, if you want to contact her directly, see if I can remember this off the top of my head, is dyercath, so DYERCATH @gmail.com. And it's by donation. She just needs to know who's attending so they can make arrangements for seating, etc. It's a potluck lunch, so just bring a lovely dish. Again, it's at Rise Above Guest House. Thanks, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.